Hello and welcome to another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. I'm Wayne Highlander, National Sales Manager for Bona Adhesives.
And I'm Rob Johnson, new head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You're riding that wave there,
Rob.
Oh,
yeah. I got a new team now too. Well, Good. Not a new team, but I've never rooted for two teams. I'm in. I'm all in with Brady and the Buccaneers. I know there's a lot of people going to be upset about that. I'm not turning my back on the Patriots, not at all, but I kind of enjoy watching him play. Have you seen any of his commercials?
I have. He's loosening up a little bit.
He's loosening up, man. And this one commercial he's talking to somebody, and before he hangs up, he's like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, but do you still hate me? And the guy's like, yeah, I still hate you. And he hangs up and, kind of goes with that. And even his wife yells over, hey, does he still hate you? Yeah, he still hates me. Nice. So, he's having some fun. I'm glad to see it.
Good for him. Yeah. So
how was your weekend?
You and I, first of all, haven't talked in a while since we did the last one. I think it's been a long time since I've talked to you. So how you been, man? Are you staying regular and things are good?
Oh, the prunes, baby. Good. How are they working for you?
Awesome. Never better.
Yeah. That's a good way to keep regular.
Yeah.
With our schedules and flying and traveling and all that stuff. I mean,
speaking of flying and travel, I never went to bed last night. It is 8:30 or 8:28 now p.m. Friday, and last time I went to bed was Wednesday night. I never slept. It was the worst travel experience on planet Earth with the airlines. It was a disaster. But I walked in the door at 7:30 a.m. and my first meeting of the day was 8:30. And then there was meetings from then on till late in the afternoon, and then the podcast here late at night. So you
are the consummate professional.
It's been a rough one, Rob. But
you don't need sleep, man. You don't need sleep. You'll get your sleep later on. You're good.
It's Friday.
Don't you get that? I always found though, when you're doing a 24, 36, once you get to a certain point, now you're just going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I tell you, the worst time for me when we were doing, when we did that podcast about the worst job ever, right? Where we were working 2 days completely straight, started Friday night and went till Monday morning. The only time that really got me was like 4 to 6 a.m.
Yeah.
That 4 to 6 a.m. was painful. And then after you got over that hump, so what's your hump? What time is your hump?
I haven't felt it yet. I mean, you know what I mean? I got a second wind, and it's Friday, thank God, so I don't have to worry about, I can catch up. Well, I got a lot of catch up over the weekend. It was a good, as bad as my travel day was, Rob, I know at least one person had a worse travel day. I'm standing in the airport in Austin, and waiting, as we all do, and what have you. And a plane unloads, right? The people are coming off a plane, right?
Yeah.
And this lady comes off the plane, and she's frazzled, right? I mean, she's obviously, probably has to. Well, she clearly had to catch a connecting flight. So she's running around looking for the monitors, whatever, to find out what the flight is. She's rushing around to asking some lady. She's in a panic, right? And she's carrying too many bags, and it's a mess. And so she comes up to me and she goes, "Where's Terminal B at?" I said, "Oh, yeah. It's and I got caught up in her frenzy of, I could feel her anxiety, trying to get to where she's going. So I said, "Yeah, head down that way down there." So she took off running, right? So sitting there, and a few minutes later, I'm thinking, yeah, no, that's not the way to Terminal B. And I went, oh, wait a minute. That's right. That's I'm directionally challenged, right? I got no sense of direction. And I said it with the utmost confidence. And off she scurried down that way. And
she just bought it hook, line, and sinker. Huh?
When people don't run a lot and they're having to run like if they had to run out of a building like a fire, that's how she's running. Like it's a club foot type of running, like heavy feet, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Her little legs were, instead of running north and south, they're going east and west, and she's got all these bags and stuff, and she's sweating, and off down she goes, right? And when I realized that, that's not actually the way Terminal B that direction. It's actually the opposite. It's that way.
Oh.
I thought, I could go help her. But, you know, I put in a hard day of work, Rob. You know, it's, you know, for me, it'd be undignified for me to go chasing after her. You know what I mean?
And talk about somebody who runs with a club foot. She's going to outrun you any day of the week because of those knees of yours.
I felt horrible for the lady. I really did.
Yes.
But then the game was on TV, and 30 seconds, about a minute later, I'm watching the game now. I'm interested in the game. And about 5 minutes or so, 10 minutes later, she comes running back. And she looks at me. And she goes, in desperation, she goes, "That's not the way to Terminal B. My plane's gone. It's gone." And I said, "Yeah. I thought you said D." And she goes, "D's not down that way either." And I said, "Yeah, I don't, it's a tough one." And she goes, "God." And she looks at me in just absolute, just horror. And she walks off, and she sits over there where I can see her. You know what I mean? Like that's a pretty passive aggressive move, by the way, too.
So now you have to watch her crying because she missed her plane.
She's far enough away from me, but she's like she's in my ear sight or my line of sight, which makes me feel uncomfortable.
And you know that she is staring at you the entire time.
Yeah. And
how could this guy do this? Did you send her over a drink or some chicken strips or wings or something? You know, just hey, I'm really sorry.
You know how expensive a drink is at the airport?
This is on me.
It's not cheap, Rob.
Well, tuna sandwich is $13. These people have no idea.
Yeah.
They have no idea what the real cost of anything is in the rest of the world.
Yeah. So in all seriousness, I've really felt bad for the lady, but you know, directions is not my forte, Rob. And I'll have to tell you, I'll have to tell you that you know, it's been a bad week for me in that regards with people. It's been a bad people week for me. I'm usually pretty dialed in. In our town, in our small town, in the newspaper, I don't usually read the local paper, but it said this couple moved here from Alaska, and they're going to show drive-in movie theaters on their farm, right? And they're going all the money is going to be donated to the Boys and Girls Club. So I told you, I said, how nice is that? Isn't that a nice gesture that they would do that? They charge $20 a car. And, you know, when's the last time you've been to a drive-in? Been a long time, right? And
6 years ago.
Yeah. So
6 years ago. Yeah, it's been a while. It
was kind of a nostalgic thing for me. And they were playing Casablanca. Do you know that movie at all?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
I've heard about that movie.
Okay.
My whole life, and I'm a movie guy.
Yeah.
And me being a movie guy, I thought to myself one time I saw it on TCM, and I'm like, I better watch this movie. I am a movie guy.
Yeah.
I got to know what's going on here. I mean, this is, you know, one of the most famous movies of all time, and I'm clueless to it. So yes, I have watched Casablanca.
Let me tell you what it means to our family. Humphrey Bogart, obviously, and I am not exaggerating because I asked Judy this, and we're bringing her sister with us as well, her older sister, Anne. And I asked them, how many times have you guys seen this movie? And I'm not exaggerating. This is not an exaggeration. Judy's watched it over 20 times, and her sister says, I know I've watched it 40 times. Maybe not all at one time. Like I'm watching, I always have it on if it's on, if I'm ironing or doing something else. It's always on. And the song from that movie is our wedding song. Okay, when we got married. Okay.
You must remember this.
Yes, a kiss, just a kiss. Yeah.
All right. Smile is just a smile. That song.
Keep going. I'll bring Judy in.
That was your wedding song.
That was our wedding. That's our first dance song, right? Okay, so
nice.
I tell Judy, this be kind of romantic, right? I mean, it's a drive-in theater like the old days. We'll bring your sister, you know, and she'll love it. And so they said, what a great idea. We pack a picnic lunch. Okay. We get there early, and we're in the front row. And then I'm in my Dodge truck. But I got this idea that would be nice if we face backwards. So we can get up, we can sit in the truck. We brought chairs, right? You know what I mean? Like folding chairs, and sit in the back of the truck. They make a nice picnic with cheese and olives and all that kind of stuff. and we're going to watch this show. So it gets dark. The movie comes on. I turn the radio on. Oh, that's the other thing. They didn't have a sound system, but you tune into the local radio station and it's on there. So you can play.
That's how all the drive-ins are now.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know that.
You use your radio.
Yes. So
you don't have the thing hanging off your window anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I turn the speakers up. I open the back window. My truck is a new Dodge truck. Not to brag, but it's different. It's different than the old days. So we're listening to Casablanca. The movie's on. It's in black and white, and it's a perfect night. Super dark. There's no moon, and we're in heaven, right? Well, about 30 minutes into this, these new trucks, I don't know the technology, man, but the radio shuts off, right? So if you don't use it a certain amount of time, it just shuts off.
Right.
So now we have no sound, right? So Judy's like, oh, no, there's no sound now. I said, I got it. I put my hand to open on the front door. The lights come on and blinds everybody behind us. I mean, everybody's going, oh, God, turn them off. Oh, God, what's he doing? I mean, they're blinding because the other people are sitting outside in their chairs. Also,
your headlights come on.
Yes, you know how when new cars, you go to open the door, or you turn hit the fob thing, and the lights come on.
Okay.
So the lights came on, and I can't because I put my hand on the door handle, and I can't find the clicker thing. It's in the car somewhere. So they're yelling at me, and I've disrupted everybody behind, and so it's embarrassing. And so I quickly close the door, and so the lights go off, but I didn't turn the radio on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now I got to open it again.
Now you got to do it again.
I got to do it again, and so I open the door again, and I blind. I mean, they're like taking their chairs and they're running out of the way, and I blinded them. And again, I can't get to the radio. So I close the door now, and I go back to Judy. I said, Judy, I can't open the door anymore. She goes, well, there's no sound. So we listened to the rest of the movie. At least an hour more of the movie with zero sound. So it kind of was
around you. Nobody around you couldn't hear there.
Not enough that you could hear it and enjoy the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I thought we might as well just leave. But then I thought, well, what kind of? I don't want to hurt the feelings of the guy from Alaska who just moved here, who's trying to do this nice charity thing, and then one guy just blows off in the middle of the movie. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, so it wasn't the night that I thought it was going to be, but yeah, whatever. It was nice all the same.
How many cars were there? How many people were in this thing?
I want to say there was about 45 cars or so.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And what did he show it on the side of his barn? You said?
No, he had a massive screen, huge. He had telephone poles dug into the ground and a big wires and big screen.
Wow.
We haven't said anything about work on this podcast yet. I'm feeling a little bit guilty, so I'm just going to mention Mega One. So continue on.
Mega One, crystal clear, one component finish.
There you go.
And the great part about Mega One, 5 days fully cured.
There you go.
That's Mega One from Bona.
Speaking of Christmas decorations, we're going to have to. We had Jeff Sheaves on here before, and his wife is it's an absolutely. You've never seen anything like it in your life, Rob.
I have, because
I
thought I was a Christmas decorator.
Yeah, his wife.
They are
out of control.
They're the movie, man. They're a Christmas vacation movie.
So that's a Hallmark. Yeah,
I thought that I work pretty hard, on the outside of my house and everything. I'm a pup compared to him. Matter of fact, him and I got really talking about it, and I'm still a C9 guy, ceramic, multicolored C9, same type of Christmas lights my grandfather used. Okay, and for a while we couldn't find them, and then I found them online, and they don't sell them in the stores a lot. My electric bill is hysterical when I turn these things on. These lights still get hot and stuff like, you still blow some good fuses and everything. But I thought I was pretty good. I got a pretty good sized tree out front, maybe 20 something feet. And we decorate that whole thing. Man, Sheaves is just another level.
Yeah.
That's exterior.
Yeah.
Now, interior, I gotta, maybe I'll be able to, get up there with the Sheaves, because Pauline's all the interior. I do exterior. Pauline's all interior. And it looks like Christmas Town in here. Nice. I mean, it looks like a Hallmark movie.
Well, you'll be able to break out your Christmas playlist. So let me ask you, what's going on with schools lately?
Oh man, glad you asked. Such a great story. We had a school a couple weeks ago in Monroe. Monroe. Sometimes I get sidetracked where I'm at. Had a crew come up, Commodore Floors, brothers, Travis and Anthony came up for the school. And, some of the best parts of the school are just the backstories of how companies got their start. I always love asking, how they got their start. Well, they're second generation floor guys. Okay. Their dad. So I asked them, I go, how'd your dad get his start? And he said he was on a job and saw a guy sanding floors. And he goes, I think I can do that.
Wow.
And that's how his dad started the whole company.
I'll be damned.
He saw a guy sanding floors and thought, I think I can do that. So he did the whole thing, started renting equipment, taught himself how to do it, never went to a completely self-taught with everything. And I thought that is a pretty cool story. Well, the dad's in his 80s now. So there's, I think 5 siblings altogether. Okay. 2 girls, 3 boys of the Commodore family. And they're all scattered all over the United States. They're all over the place, right? And the younger brother wanted to get back into the dad's business. And he contacted all the siblings who are all scattered throughout the country.
Yeah.
And said, why don't we all move back and open up dad's business again and get it going, crank it up.
One of the best stories I've ever heard.
It gives me goosebumps. When he told me that, I was like, and he goes, we have some nephews and we got some sons and nephews that we think we want to get involved. And I said, listen, you're in South Carolina, they're just over the line. So they're not too far from the training center,
Yeah.
And I said, I want to be part of the Commodore family.
Okay? Oh man.
I said, every nephew, every son, anybody who wants training, I want you to send them to me. I go, if you guys want to come back, you come on back. It was just, I mean, I know I'm lucky for what I do because I love training and just have such a great time. But when you get, stories like this, and the most unbelievable part is they all agreed to come back. They're all coming back and they're cranking up dad's company again.
I mean, that's a movie.
That is so funny you said that because that's exactly what I said to him. I go, this is either a reality show that would be really awesome or it's a Hallmark movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've sat through Pauline's Hallmark movies and I felt like when he was telling me this story, I felt like I was in one.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, we had more fun at this class. I put some pictures up on Instagram and we just had a blast.
What's the name of the family and their company again?
Commodore Floors.
Out of where?
Out of South Carolina. I'm not sure. Indian something.
Okay.
Indian Crossing. Is that it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I love that. That's a fantastic.
Oh, here's another one. Right in the middle of the class. Okay. And we're running the machines and everything. And I start showing them the power drive. Here's a power drive commercial. Right in the middle. Him and his brother. Now they're remembering working for dad, slot drums, old time stuff. Right. Okay. And I'm showing him everything the power drive can do and how close you can get, taking the edging off and, all this stuff the power drive can do. He's like, stop, wait, no way, stop everything. He goes, you got to be kidding me with this thing. I go, no. I said, this was a really good machine when it came out, but now with the weights and the steel plates and the wire brushing, I go, this thing's amazing, right? He goes, can you turn the vac off for a second? I go, yeah, sure. He calls up his distributor right there, standing on the panel, and orders it.
Wow.
Right there, orders awesome. It right there.
Wow. That's very cool.
Yeah. And I said, that was the other thing I said. I go, this is going to be great for these nephews and everything that you want to get into the business. This is a great way for them to start. And, but man, I've heard, you hear great stories, but this one, all scattered throughout the United States, they all decided, let's move back. Dad's still alive. Let's start this company up.
Man.
I know. Isn't that a cool story?
It gives me goosebumps, man.
Yeah.
I love that. And you wish them the best of success.
I told them, I said, one of the things about training that I really want to improve on is to do more training with the same people. You don't just want to do a one and done. I think the more they come, once a year, even if it's just once a year, just to do a little brush up. And I said, you guys are so close to the RTC. I said, we got Robbie in the RTC, you got Larry, you got Jeff Sheaves, you got Mark Raymond. I told them too, that was another thing I threw in. We were going over the adhesives and everything. And finally I looked at them because I could see that they're not doing a lot of glue downs. They've done some there. I go, here's Mark's number. When you get ready to do a job, Mark will come out and work with you.
Nice.
I go, that's the best way to do this.
That's
Get
awesome.
Mark right out on the job, And I know, Mark's going to love these guys. He's going to love the story. I mean, we all love that kind of story, So, but I told them, I said, we got to keep this up, once a year, do a brush up. I go, you guys are so lucky to live so close to the RTC. This is your batting cage, man. This is your driving range. You come here and practice. And, if somebody shows you a picture of a gray wire brush floor, come here and figure out how to do it. Don't do it on their job. Do it here. So, I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this crew. I'm hoping you get to meet them because you'll love them. They're just great.
I'd love to. There's a great line from a country band out of Texas. Jamie Dale Gilmore is a singer, and Joe Ely, and I can't remember the name of the band. It escapes me right now. But the line in the song is, he goes, "Hey babe, you're not the ocean, you're just a wave." And with us, we know we're a small part of the contractors. You know what I mean? I mean, they have their business and what have you, but I don't know if people realize how much we would get a kick out of being able to help someone a little bit in the trade and be there for them and be a partner for them. And so I love that story, man. That's so awesome. And I would love to come down there and meet him.
Yeah.
It just occurred to me, your stories are really sweet stories. They're Hallmark stories. I started this show telling you that I ruined the lady's, absolutely ruined her day and just destroyed it by helping her miss her flight. I went on to talk about how I blinded everybody at Casablanca and ruined their movie-going experience.
Mm-hmm.
Followed up with two stories like, Hallmark stories that, almost make me tear up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you one more of my social faux pas of the week for me. When I was talking to this guy, and this guy's a pretty manly dude, right? He's a floor guy, and he's he's an alpha guy, right? Big dude. Yeah, I mean, he's as a matter of fact, he was in the Marines at one time. This guy, he's a big dude.
He walks into a room.
Yeah,
he's in command.
He's not a touchy-feely type of guy, right?
I get the guy you're talking about. Yes.
So we had one interaction about using the products. He had a question, okay, and I answered his question. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And then the next day he says, "Hey, one more thing I didn't ask about. I want to ask about this." And so he asked me the question, and I had already told him I was going to Austin, Texas for work. And when I'm signing off on my text message, I said, "All right, appreciate it." And then I started typing out cowboy, right? Because, we had a discussion about me going to Texas. And I was waiting for the emoji to come up with a cowboy hat. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
No. So I typed it up and I hit send and I realized that that cowboy hat didn't come up. I called him Cowboy. You know, out of the blue, like, all right, Cowboy. And I'm thinking, we don't know each other like that. You know what I mean? But now how can I go back? It just makes it all worse now. If I go, hey, I was typing out an emoji. I didn't mean to call you Cowboy. You know what I mean? I just didn't want to.
I think I would have corrected. I think I would have told him.
I was on the fence.
I didn't mean to call you Cowboy. I meant to call you Tiger.
Well, I was on the fence with it, and now too much time has gone by. That would be even more weird. So
yeah,
he thinks
you've been thinking about him now for 2 hours.
Yeah, so now he thinks like I called him Cowboy, like that's a thing I do. Like, all right, Cowboy. It's a little too.
Hopefully, he didn't think you were talking about Cowboy from the Village People or something like that.
So, like, if I got a text like that from somebody that we only had one other interaction, I'd be thinking, huh? Oh, you know me like that. So anyhow, we I guess that's the difference between you and I, buddy. We'll tell you one other funny story. When I was in Texas,
you know, it's the glass is half full, glass is half empty. Okay,
Yeah.
I am. Everybody knows that. I'm a half full guy, no matter what. Drives Pauline nuts.
Yeah. You see, I have a problem with that.
I know you do.
You're saying that it makes you kind of give the impression that I'm a half empty guy, which I'm not a half empty guy.
No, you're not a half empty guy. You're more of a devil's advocate guy.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm at a distributor in Texas, and there's a lady in there, and I know she's a designer by looking at her. Right. I mean, she's got it written, everything, just the bills are going off. This lady's a designer. And she's over there staying at the stain colors. The stain colors of one of our competitors, products, right? And she's looking at the stain colors, and she's looking at the chart. She goes back to the stain colors. She goes back to the chart. She's looking at them from all different angles. She's holding the chart up, and I'm laughing to myself, thinking, I know this lady. You know what I mean? I've dealt with this lady many times in my life. So the contractor comes in and meets her. So obviously they were like, he must have said, hey, let's meet at the distributor at 11 o'clock and we'll go over different things. He shows up, young kid, good looking young kid, about 6'2", and he's a hardworking guy. You can tell he's been on a job site. He comes in there, he's sweating. It's a hot day. I got to tell you,
call him Cowboy too, or
no? I didn't call him Cowboy.
Okay, good.
So he starts talking to her about colors. And she goes, gosh, I don't know. I haven't made up my mind. I thought I was going to like this. And she pointed to something almost like a natural color. Right. And she goes, but I don't know. What do you think about this? And she goes to the darkest color on the board. I'm thinking, this guy is screwed. You get a customer that thinks maybe I like the natural one, but I don't know. The black.
I don't know. I kind of like the black.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at that white too.
Yeah.
Oh my. So
I hear the kid go, what you really want to do is kind of dial in about maybe 3 colors that you like and kind of go for there, maybe 3, maybe 4 tops. And that way, he goes, I promise you, if you look at too many samples, you'll always end up with the wrong color. I thought, that's a pretty good rap, right?
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's working with her, and they're discussing colors, and this is going on a long time, man. I mean, she's going way into detail about, now she's talking about the walls. And I'm thinking, oh, this dude is so screwed. This brings back so many memories for me. And then finally, he looks over me in exasperation. He gives me a look like, man, when I. So then he says, ma'am, he goes, I got to get on another job site. Why don't we do this? Why don't you pick 3 or 4 colors that you really like, and then put them down for samples. And then when I come over to the job next, we'll talk. We'll discuss it. She goes, okay, I'll just pick out some colors. He goes in the back and starts grabbing materials that he needs for another job, I guess, right? I see her with both hands grabbing Rob at least 20 colors and sets them on the counter. So I nod the guy. I give the guy a nudge, right? I go, hey, look. And he goes, oh, we've all been there, man. We've all been there. And I thought it was so damn funny. And
do you miss those days?
Not those days, because that was always my worst thing. I didn't, towards the end of my career, I didn't have the patience on picking out the colors. I left that to John and Doug because they were both way more patient than me.
Yeah.
And so that part I let to them.
But you mentioned something there, and I talk about it in the school, and I always give them a little story that happened to me when she was talking about the colors of her walls. And I did this is back in the 80s when Pete and I just left my dad, started our own thing. Back in the 80s, we were doing tons of white floors. And I tell everybody that, there I am putting the final coat on this white job, and it was 900 feet. We knocked this sucker out of the park. It was perfect. Wow. And the lady's just standing in the doorway pretty quiet. And I made the huge flooring guy mistake. So, what do you think? And she looks right over and goes, I hate it. And I'm like, hate it? What the hell are you talking? I go, I was really kind of insulted because, white floors were tough back then with bleach and white stain and top coats. And when we murdered this floor, it was perfect. And she's like, no, I got white walls, a white ceiling, and a white floor. It looks like a hospital room. And not knowing what I know now, I said to her, that's your fault. You picked it out.
Wow.
I never said, I'll resand it. We can come to an agreement here, right? And here I'm telling everybody, we got to work for the referral, right? We want to get a referral on that.
Yeah.
Even though the job was perfect, how many referrals did I get from her?
Yeah.
None.
Right. Exactly.
How many bad referrals do you think I got from her?
Yeah. Here was the move.
I was telling her too, like, hey, you got to pay me. I don't care if you don't like it. And this is kind of how I was talking to this woman. I look back at that and I go, what? What were you thinking? There probably could have been a little extra money to be made there,
Yes. Well,
so thinking that I learned a lesson, right? Emily, my oldest daughter, she wanted the darkest stain possible, right? She wanted dark, but not black. She was looking at bark. I think that's what I used. I used bark on her floor. And with my interior designer in me now that I'm, so brilliant, I said, Emily, the walls in your dining room, they're kind of dark red. And if you go with a dark floor, and it's not red, I know it's some other color, but to me it looked like dark red. And I go, you go with a dark floor, it's going to make this room look small. Well, the look on her face, like, wow, Dad is thinking of colors.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, I understand. And she gave me the whole thing. She's like, I got a lot of windows here. So that opens the room up and you get 2 openings. And so she had an answer, but I think I impressed her a little bit when I told her, trying to give her a heads up.
Very nice. You missed an opportunity with that designer lady. Here was the move. Oh, it looks like a hospital. Everything's white. We do a lot of these floors for designers, and gray walls with this floor color is stunning. And then you put it on the painter, right? There you go.
That would have been great. Okay. Yeah. But as soon as she said she hated it, all I thought was,
I'm not getting paid.
This is when Peter and I were trying to put some food on the table, and as soon as she said she hated it, I thought, she ain't going to pay me.
Yeah.
I gotta have, we gotta have this, right? Yeah. So I was in panic mode when she said she hated it. And I'm like, well, the job's perfect and you picked out this color and, just give me my money, please. I did my.
Well, speaking of stains, we are changing seasons now. We're getting into the fall months of the year.
Yes, you can see all the decorations. It is time for fall.
When I can't help myself, and I don't like to insert myself in the situation. So when I got the kid by myself, I actually opened the door for him, helped him carry some stuff out to his van. I said, hey man, did you let her know about the stain rag? Because he gave her a bunch of stain rags to help her do the colors. I said, did you mention to her about the stains being spontaneous combustion stuff? He goes, yeah, all right, I covered that. I thought, all right, good. I don't want to butt in.
Good.
Just bugging me because, so I just want to put that out there again, even though we're going into winter, be very careful of the stain rags. I saw someone sent some pictures of a really bad vacuum fire. Could have been a disastrous fire. So be very careful about that. And so for everybody out there, I hope you have a great week. And for the lady in Austin who I completely screwed up, wherever you are in this world, I hope you're sleeping good tonight. And I hope you appreciate your home now, right? You know what I mean? Maybe a little bit more because you didn't get there that night when you thought you were going to get there. And maybe, Rob, I helped her in some ways appreciate life a little bit more.
Yes.
There you go.
Never ask strangers and don't talk to strangers. Right.
Yes.
Look at the signs. Don't ask people.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, one thing I do want to mention now that we're giving out advice here. Okay. Look, if for anybody newlyweds, you're getting married. Okay. And usually the girl's going to pick the song, like you were talking about your wedding song and everything. Guys, don't just give them carte blanche to that. Carte blanche. Don't just let them. Who picked the song? Did you pick it or did you pick it together?
Judy picked it. Yeah.
She picked it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Pauline picked our wedding song. Our wedding song was More Than This by Roxy Music.
Okay.
Okay.
I gotta Google
More than This, Roxy Music. Nice song.
Hold on one second. Play More Than This, Roxy Music.
Yes. This is Pauline and I.
This is your song.
Bouncing around the dance floor. Absolutely. This is our song.
I actually happen to love that song.
It's a nice song. Okay, but everybody, all my buddies were like, wow, this is an amazing song. Because one of my buddies is like, hey, what's your song going to be? I go, More Than This by Roxy Music. Now, here's what I'm going to tell everybody. That song, More Than This by Roxy Music, it goes on for like 45 minutes.
Oh, the dancing thing.
Oh, my. That's a long song. And after we're, made like our fifth lap around that dance floor, I finally looked at her and said, how long does this song go? This one. Yeah, that actually happened twice in the same day. Okay, because at our wedding ceremony, we're on our knees while they're playing. It was a Catholic ceremony, playing Ave Maria. Okay, there's like 15 verses to Ave Maria. I kept going to stand up, and nope, another verse. And I'm really like leaning over to her, going, "How many verses are?" I thought Ave Maria was 2 verses. I thought I'd be up in 45 seconds. But so for guys, don't let the girl pick the song, but make sure there's a 2.5, 3 minute time limit on that song.
Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a reason to call you. I need to get something for Rob. I'll say, hey, I'm trying to get a hold of Rob, and I'll have in the background. She's going to hear this when I call your wife now. Like 2 or 3 times, it'll be like, she'll just barely be able to make it out.
Yeah.
And she go, oh, I love that. Yeah, I love that song too. It's always been my song. All right.
That's our song. It's a great song. Don't get me wrong. It was a classic. I had never heard it at another wedding. It was great. But oh man, I need to sit down after a while, take a little rest. All right. Wayne, I kind of like this. This was our first fireside chat with Wayne and Rob on the floor with Wayne and Rob. So I think it went well. I think we could do more of these fireside chats. I'm looking forward to fireside chat number 2. It was good catching up with you. I know you and I are hit the road pretty good now, so we don't see each other too much. So it's good catching up.
Yep. Likewise, Rob, appreciate it. We didn't dive deep too much into floors, but you know what? Once in a while, I think that's okay. So
we did have a good feel-good story with my boys from Commodore Floors, man.
Absolutely. Okay, so this has been On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. Please stay tuned for another episode.